the mixer, part 2. So we're going to continue to talk about the mixer and explore some more of the advanced style features here. The first thing I want to talk about are these buttons right here. And these allow us to filter out what's actually seen. So for instance, we have this auxiliary channel here, and let's make sure that we have something going to it through the sends. Bus, aux1, aux2. Alright, so now we have something going to that channel. And what we can do here is look at single, and whatever channel we had selected, it's going to show us the actual signal flow for that channel. So in this case, the kick is going out of send, bus number 1, into this auxiliary channel, which the input is bus number 1. And then this one and this one are both going out the stereo, which is going through the master. So it's showing us this one particular track. Now we could do something here. We could actually add a second bus. Now we've got one going to bus 1 and bus 2 on these auxiliary channels. And let's click single for that. You'll see that they both show up now. So this is your way to see exactly where this channel is going to. We can also click other channels for this. For instance, if we did click one of these auxiliary channels, it's going to show us where it's coming from as well. But we select just one of these regular channels that's not going anywhere, and that just shows us the stereo out in the master. So very useful. Of course, we can also show all. This is going to show us all the channels that are available in our session right now. And the only real difference with this one is that we have to click here and then the pre-listen. But the rest of them are what we see in the arrange window. So the arrange window is showing us what we actually have from the arrange window. So those two are connected. So pretty cool. We can also filter by all these different types. So we can see all the audio, turn them off in this case. And let's turn off the master. And let's turn off the outputs and the auxiliaries. And we should have nothing. Nothing to display. So we can turn on the audio if we want and see just those audio channels. Or we can click them all back on. And there we have them all back. So that's exactly what we're doing here, is just filtering different options with what we can see and what we can't. Pretty cool. Now I want to talk about these auxiliary channels for a second. Let's get out of this window. And you'll notice in the arrange that we just have all the audio channels, but none of those auxes show up here. And that's the default. But I like to have those there because when I start doing automation, it's a lot easier to do it from this window when I can see the automation and draw it in by hand or using a control surface. So what we can do, let's go back to the mixer. We can actually select these channels. We could do the stereo out if we want to as well, or the master. And under options, we can actually choose to create arrange tracks for selected channel strips. Once we do that, you'll see that they show up here now. And if I click A on the keyboard to go into automation mode, now I can draw automation for these channels. So that's exactly what I wanted to do, and it makes it so we have all these channels here. Let's go back for another moment here. The other thing I want to look at would be some of the different view options and some of the different ways that this is connected with the actual environment. The environment is kind of under the hood. We're going to talk about it later, but I did want to show you the environment just for a moment, how it relates to this. Think of the environment as kind of the place where all of these things are created as objects and then implemented. You can see that it looks a little different, a little bit more raw in terms of its display, and have little different parts to each channel here. For instance, this little arrow, you can actually draw this out and connect it to other channels here, so it's routable. Very, very powerful and flexible way to do this. Just want to show you that this is kind of where the mixer window is created inside the environment, and that's how everything gets connected together. Last thing I want to show you as part of this has to do with surround or multi-channel outputs and plugins. We're not really getting into some of this now, but it's kind of important functionality, so let's talk about it right now. What we need to do first, create a new channel. this time software instrument, create, and here for the input we're going to choose something like the Ultrabeat multi-output. So we load this up. We're not going to talk that much about this right now, but when we go into the mixer, we can actually see this here. Here it is. And the way that Logic now does this, it's done this for a little bit, is pretty awesome functionality. There's a little plus key right here. And we can click on this to open up additional channels. So you can see it brings open aux3 and aux4, and the inputs are automatically set to Ultrabeat 3 and 4, Ultrabeat 5 and 6. We can keep on going all the way. If we want to close these back down, we can close them like that using the minus key which has appeared. And so that's one of the ways we can do multi-channel instruments inside Logic's mixer, just by opening or closing extra auxiliary channels using the plus or minus. So pretty powerful. I think that's all we're going to talk about for the mixer right now. There's a number of other things we're going to get to as we get into some of these projects, but that's kind of an overview of some of the cool features of it, and we'll get into more detailed things as we continue.